Hello, everybody, and welcome to another episode of Toonkind at 12 FPS. I am Oatmeal, and today I'll be playing the Professor. And with me.
Hi, I'm Blaze. I am also here in this 12 FPS, and I am going to be playing Spica.
hmm We are. Uh, this is taking place after. Um, after the games Mercenaries and the Diamond of Despair. And has spoilers for both, so check the
Mhm.
warnings, please. It is completely wrapped up in that plot.
Oh,
Um,
yeah.
it also takes place on the professor's end after um, the Ambassador of Time, that FPS, just to keep the continuity straight.
hmm
Um, and yeah.
Yeah.
So, in this, oh, and before the whole, uh, before Professor's involvement in any other stuff, I'll just leave it at that. Um,
Yeah.
so yeah, this, the professor has basically been in the Leighton house for about 4 weeks, recovering, and
hmm
he's all recovered. He's like been out and about and met with people, and now he has to meet with one of the people who came forward as uh, as one of the people who helped to kidnap him.
hmm
He knows them. He knows her only by the code name Heartbreaker,
Yep.
um, and as Minami's friend, Detective Minami, Shannon's friend.
hmm
Um, and they have essentially, he has contacted uh, Spica through Minami and arranged to have a meeting.
hmm
Various people are still a kind of, watching out for Professor, making sure he doesn't get hurt or anything. So
Yeah.
people know where he's going, and he has
hmm
at least one person with him. They won't, like, be in the same room or whatever, though.
Yeah.
Um, like he's got backup. Um,
Yeah.
he's got somebody watching out. Um,
hmm hmm
um, but I think the uh, professor would. Mm, he would probably ask to meet somewhere in public,
hmm
relatively.
Yeah.
Um, so maybe. Uh, Um, I'm trying to think between like a restaurant and like somewhere in a park. Like a
Hmm.
which do you think would be more um favorable?
Ooh. both have good possibilities.
hmm
Um. Hmm. I mean, we could always have flip a coin or have that be the first roll, one or two.
Yeah, sure. Let me see.
Sure.
Restaurant or park? Park. All right.
All
So,
right, Turk it is.
yeah, some secluded bench, probably on a uh, probably like a higher um, elevated, maybe up on a hill or something where it can
Yeah,
be
it has a
seen.
nice view of the pond or something.
Yeah, yeah. But yeah,
Hmm, yeah.
um, now Professor is going to show up right on time. Um,
Mhm. Mhm.
what about quote unquote Heartbreaker?
She's actually probably there early.
Mm-hmm.
Like, checks out the area
Mm-hmm.
and whatnot, just like does a little bit of a sweep,
Mm-hmm.
looks at where she's supposed to meet up. Not there yet. Alright. She gets to do a slight lap around the pond or something, just like, because like she's promised to be here and everything, but it's still just like slightly weird. Like, okay, haven't done this before.
Mm-hmm.
Right, this is gonna be fun. This is gonna be fun. I'm just gonna walk off the nerves.
Yeah.
So once she sees the professor heading up though, like right, like he'll go like I'm well assuming he like goes up, looks around, sits down on the bench.
Yeah, pretty much. Uh,
Yeah,
I might roll perception.
yeah, sure.
Would she be like hiding or just kind of around?
Probably just around.
Okay. Is she uh well, I guess you'll tell me in a second.
Mm-hmm.
Because I'm curious whether she's in disguise. Let's see, with a 21 perception, or in her more normal outfit.
Mm-hmm. She is actually in her disguise,
Mm.
so
The one she was wearing
mm-hmm.
in the game. Okay.
In the game, yeah. The one when she was trailing him.
Yep.
So, because she went between two outfits in that game, but yeah. So you see the the pastel goth
Uh-huh.
um in the platform boots, just kind of like probably looking quite out of place considering,
Mm-hmm.
like, maybe not entirely so because you find anybody anywhere, but like
Mm-hmm.
definitely not that hard to spot because again she is just kind of vibing in her disguise.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Um, he, uh, he'll just, uh, I guess, sort of awkwardly, like wave in her direction.
Hmm. Yeah, she like, probably like looks, blinks, and it's just like this it's just like animated like sweat drop down the side of her face. She's just like, but then like she just does that whole big wave thing as if like you're the friend she's been waiting for to show up, like the little animated star beside her face and
Mm-hmm.
everything, and she just absolutely stroll like very very animated as would be thought with the kind of like disguise she's wearing.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Just
Yeah.
absolutely strolls on up, and once she's a few steps away, she kind of does like this sweeping bow
Mm.
kind of thing. It's just like, Heartbreaker at your service.
Hello. Well, I think you already know who I am. The professor. And he'll hold out his hand to shake.
And she straightens up. It's just like, I'll let you go for that last perception. Like, there's a moment of just like hesitation,
Mm-hmm.
but she does reach out and like take his hand and give it a firm shake.
Yep. No tricks. Um, just shaking hands. If
Hmm.
if she has any, uh, I think you've said before that her disguises are like there wouldn't be anything to see with true sight.
No, yeah, they're all physical disguises.
Mm-hmm. Then in that case, I'm not gonna bother with that.
Yeah.
um, but yeah, he gestures to the bench if she wants to sit, but isn't super bothered if she doesn't.
Mhm. Yeah. She does sit, but like with space between kind of thing.
Oh yeah, they're totally on like absolute opposite sides.
Oh yeah.
It's awkward.
Yeah, it is. It is. She's pulling the casual actor out of, like, absolute flopping down, prepping one up against arm up on the back of the bench, and then the other one on the armrest, like
Mm-hmm.
appearance of casual and relaxed, but just like, this is more than this, yeah, awkwardness, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
So, um, hmm. Thank you for contacting Detective Shannon.
Not much to really thank over, but you're welcome all the same.
I would disagree. That sort of move is comes at um, high risk to yourself, um, especially considering who your employer was. And
Mm.
the information given was extremely helpful in my rescue.
Oof. Don't mention it. It's And she just like kind of just sits there and is like not sure what to do with that. It's just like, it's like, all right, fine. I guess if you put it that way, fine, fine. You're welcome. I guess.
Hmm.
I wasn't really expecting you to uh, request my presence for uh, uh, to thank me of all things.
Well, there's maybe a bit more than that.
Hmm.
Um, I do have to, I suppose, let you know the what decision I've come to with regard to um, what to do about the fact that there are some people who um, took a job to kidnap me and
Hmm.
they're still on the loose.
Yes, that
That's
usually tends to happen. I mean, what, your first time getting kidnapped?
no, not remotely.
And have you dealt with all your past kidnappers in the same manner?
No, no, I have not.
Really?
No.
Really no.
Well, usually my past kidnappers either want me dead or at least don't go to the trouble of trying to help me get rescued.
She just like kind of gives like a small dismissive wave of her hand at that, like,
He's kind
well,
of raising an eyebrow.
he didn't want, he specifically said he didn't want you dead and would even know if you had died and we brought you back or some such, which I don't know what that was about, but
mm.
I
He'd,
know better than to question. Hmm?
he'd know.
I don't doubt it. For what he seemed to know and what he seemed to not know. Okay, I have to ask, what was up with him wearing the pinstripes?
He actually like puts his head in his hand and like rubs his forehead.
Okay, so you're at least aware of the pinstripes then.
Of course I'm aware of the pinstripe. I've been here a while.
Okay, yeah,
He's new to the area and didn't know, apparently.
I think not. It's lucky somebody else didn't think he was part of the Yakuza. Well, at least looking at him for more than 5 minutes, you could tell he wasn't.
Mm-hmm. Hardly, hardly the, hired hand type.
No, more than one to do the hiring.
Quite.
Clearly. Sorry, they just apparently made the same noise at the same time. Just both go.
Yeah. Ugh, Ivan.
Yeah. Just like, ugh.
Well, the fact remains, you don't actively want to kill me, as far as I'm aware, and so I can afford to meet with you in such a manner.
Well, yes, I. Ugh, quite. She just like kind of humps a bit. It's just like, well, like I said, the murder wasn't on the table, and I don't see any reason to change that fact.
Hmm.
What?
No, just.
Hmm.
He's,
She just like raises an eyebrow at him this time.
he's slightly amused. Look.
Look, I was hired for a job. Job's over. No reason to whatever else about it.
Hmm. Well, I have, um, hmm. Let's see. Detective Minami Shannon is not the only detective I'm, uh, acquainted with. By far.
Alright.
And so I discussed matters with some of them with regard to. Some of them have very. You might imagine that some detectives have very strong opinions about justice and what should be done, procedure in situations like this when you know who committed a crime.
Right.
Well, lucky for you, I'm very persuasive. Um, and I don't particularly want to go to court.
I. What? What is in it for you exactly?
I don't. Well, for one thing, I don't legally exist.
What? What? You said you've been here a while.
Not a while. 4, 5. It's been a few years.
Right. So, I mean. What? You're just an alien who never got your paperwork? Like what?
Well, pretty much.
Oh.
And I don't want there to be paperwork.
Do you think someone like me is gonna argue with you on that?
No. But, no, it is in my best interest not to make a show of things. And besides, I don't really hold any or much ill will towards you and the others. Um, as I understand it, you were simply hired for a job, promised a lot of gold, and you did it, and then, at some risk to yourself, basically told on your employer because you didn't agree with what was going on.
I mean, in more words than I'd probably use for it, but technically, I guess. Yes.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I made sure he didn't. I'm pretty damn sure he doesn't know that I told.
No,
Made sure I wasn't followed and everything.
no, he doesn't know.
She doesn't hide the fact that she does look at least a little bit pleased with that. It's like, haha, he has no idea.
He knows he can be pretty sure that somebody told, but he doesn't know who. And I don't think he would suspect you first.
uh, that works for me just fine then.
Hmm.
Although, is he staying or?
Not for long.
Oh, good. I don't have to worry about running into him again.
Mm-mm. No. A few weeks and he should be out of all of our hair.
Ah, excellent. Best I need is something like that around and having to move again.
Mm. No, I think the only one he was especially. Well, he wasn't pleased with. What did he. Well, I know his name, but the name he gave the ambassador was Cyril. He wasn't
Uh,
especially pleased with Cyril,
mm-hmm.
and he was livid about the vampire.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, the cat-dawned parasite.
Mm.
Freaking bigot. Where's the vampire?
He Professor just kind of trails off because no, he doesn't really need to defend him on that point. He knows where Ivan is coming from with it, and it's more
Yeah.
complicated than that, but he doesn't
Oh
really
no, yeah.
need to go into that.
Yeah. It's just Spica doesn't know. It's just like you're just an asshole.
Yeah, which is true.
Yeah.
uh,
Unless he does pause and give the professor kind of a look, and it's just like, you don't anybody having an issue with this. I thought it would be you,
with
the vampire.
uh, what do you mean have an issue with it? In what manner?
That was the most vicious game of get that out of your mouth that I have ever had played with somebody.
Oh. Um. Yeah, no, that was not fun. I'm not looking forward to dealing with them.
I imagine not,
I
considering.
I will probably speak to a proxy first.
Yeah. I don't think I've ever seen a vampire act like that, though. Nearly turns, maybe. Who fucking knows?
Hmm. I don't know. Well, what was I saying? don't want to go to court.
Right.
But I can't really just let there be nothing.
Nah, I get that.
Um, so, uh, I came up with an idea.
Alright. What do I owe you?
Well, um, community service, basically. There's no, um, there's no strings attached. There's no reporting in. It's just honor system. If you don't do it, then, uh, well, then you can just then that's on your conscience. But uh, I'm asking you to do some community service to sort of pay back for what you did and the trouble it caused me and my loved ones.
No, really, what are you asking for?
Just community service. Like you can, I don't know, help build something, volunteer to pick up trash, work at a soup kitchen, food, a shelter or something for a while. I don't know.
He's just giving you such a confused look.
Administrative work. No, no, you don't like paperwork. I don't know. There's a bunch of different things you can do. There's different um, volunteering opportunities in town. It doesn't even have
How
to be
is
this
this,
town, really.
how is this the weirdest? This is so weird. This is how is this is so weird. This is yep. This is the weirdest uh, conclusion, I guess, to a kidnapping that, and yet it somehow falls into the middle ground. What the?
Well, I don't need gold. I don't want any sort of uh, I don't know. I don't want to hurt you or anything.
Not, not even get a punch in?
No, what would that do me?
Catharsis?
Nah.
Huh.
Maybe for somebody else, but mm, not really for me.
Eh. I I really do mean this in the least offensive way possible, but this is weird.
I had a feeling you might react um like this.
Yeah, I can't imagine why. Yeah. I'm a Toon. Why am I the one saying this? I mean, you seem real kind.
I am.
Okay. You could have fooled me when we were following you, though.
Oh. Oh. Well, I'm Bard.
Still, that was
Mm.
2 musical numbers. 2.
Well, I can't help it if I like to sing, and so do a lot of people in Toontown.
Really, I hadn't noticed, especially when you were walking along in your travel montage, pulling everybody else into it.
There's hardly a montage. I can't proc a montage. I'm not a toon.
Well, no, but eh, got the
Just short
vampire
of it.
spell.
Hmm?
funny.
Hey?
Didn't you notice him when he ran into the trash can?
Oh, I did notice that.
Got him stuck in your musical number. We had to snap him out of it. Ooh.
Oh, you two aren't actually dating. Right.
No. Oh no.
You were a very convincing act.
Why, thank you. She does like a slightly like she probably manages like a sweeping bow even though she's sitting.
Mm-hmm.
I do my best under such circumstances. And fake dates are one of my specialties, I like to think.
Well, what do you think?
Other than that, this is weird. I mean, I'm not going to argue with community service.
All right.
I mean, she just like kind of shrugs. It's just like, it's like, I mean, you kind of got the shit beat out of you, and you're okay with me doing whatever.
For the most part, yes. This is, again, largely because of how you helped. If you hadn't, this conversation would probably be going a lot differently. You don't have to. Look, I don't know how you're going to spin it and to make it seem like something in your best interest, but if you want, you can. I don't care.
Is Prof gonna point out that he figured out that she was the one who
Oh,
bandaged him?
yeah, actually, this would probably be a good time to mention.
Yeah.
I mean, you have your image to uphold, but I I don't know. I mean, there's not really any denying you you bandaged me for Star's sake.
Who told you?
I figured it out. No, it wasn't the Warforged.
It could have been the vampire.
Uh-huh.
Alright, it could have been the other guy.
He had left.
She like huffs and crosses her arms over her chest. Just, damn it.
Process of
You were
elimination.
unconscious.
Yes, I was, but process of elimination.
Fine.
And thanks, because honestly, I don't know if I would have survived if you hadn't.
None of the others had any healing magic, and it's just like, oh yes, let's just knock him out violently. It's like, well, we can't. We don't have any healing magic. Nobody ever stops to think if we have healing magic and if anything goes wrong. No, of course they don't. Let's just weigh in with a hammer. Ugh.
That wasn't all planned, that whole thing. It seemed very well timed.
You know what? You want to know something? You want to know something?
Mm-hmm.
None of that was planned. None of it. Not even a little bit.
Stars.
Yeah. No. Mm-mm. You almost caught me. The other guy thought to distract you as well. And then we all just went. And it just somehow worked flawlessly. And then it all went to shit because, again, like, we couldn't have just handed you over all, you were practically a package.
Mm. No,
But no, it's like, gotta
unfortunately.
weaken him, and it's like, that involves violence and bloodletting, and why?
Mm. Mm-hmm.
She just, like, pinches the bridge of her nose. It's just like, why? We could have dealt with this in so many other ways.
Unfortunately, he saw it as necessary.
Well, he's already proven he's not much of a smart person, so...
Hmm.
And again, it doesn't help that the two of the people he hired were like, oh, weaken the guy, let's kick his ass. And it's just, there's only so many other ways to go about it.
Hmm.
Well, Tone would have kept it from going that way, but no. Can't rely on plot, can't rely on Tone. Sometimes things just go some ways, I guess.
Hmm.
Do you know what I was actually expecting at the end of all of that?
What?
A duet.
What? How's that?
Well, usually with kidnappings, you have certain, you know, endings, ways, things that happen, and all that such. And considering your little musical numbers, I thought there would be, well, knowing you're a hero and all that as well, I figured we'd deliver you, you would have some sort of repertoire back and forth,
Hmm.
have some sort of duet, and then your friends would show up to save you, and, we'd all be home in time for dinner or something.
Ah. Hmm. No. If we were tunes, maybe. But, we're very much not.
No.
And they. Well, it's a wonder that my friends were able to get back as early as they did, and it was still around 8 hours or so later.
Well, I knew of nothing else. I knew if I got the information to Shannon that the right people would know.
Hmm. You weren't the only one to snitch.
I know. I got to find that out later.
Hmm.
Sir Earl did the same, and he didn't even leave me out of it.
Well,
First he goes off, and then, well, I guess it's not too surprising though, but he at least could have freaking snitched on me.
hmm.
Whatever though.
Are you still, I don't know, working together?
Yes, I suppose I can tell you that much at least. He hired me before all this. He
Bodyguard?
wasn't even. Yep.
Hmm.
Wasn't exactly working at the time, but I figured I could keep an eye out on him all the same, considering. And then he ended up heading off, as you know.
He tilts his head.
What?
It Right.
What?
No, he shakes his head. Right.
Eh. You aware of it? He left. I was still there.
Yes, yes. I was told it was, too much.
Yes, when it's, well, when you knocked us both out, the tin can decided to revive me with a swift kick to the ribs, so.
Ooh.
You were still out, and, well, the poison was still in effect, and since this seemed to be going south, well, regardless of what I thought, he asked to speak with me a moment and told me his intentions to leave. I asked if he could wait a moment, but he decided he wished to depart immediately and did so.
Mm-hmm.
And thus I returned to the group.
Mm-hmm. Well, he should probably apologize for that if he hasn't already.
Well, you haven't talked to him yet, so I assume not.
No, to you. Apologize to you for leaving you.
She kind of. She just kind of just like. Or like just hunches her shoulders ever so slightly, and just like glances away for a brief moment. It's just like, eh. He was protecting himself.
A reason, not an excuse.
I guess. He did apologize, though.
Oh,
Seemed
alright.
to be confused as to why I wasn't more upset with him, though.
That sounds familiar.
What?
You were confused about why I'm not more upset with you?
I didn't just ditch you somewhere! This is a completely different situation here.
Is it?
Well, yes, I wasn't attacked by a giant tin can and drained by a vampire.
Arguably, what you did to me was worse than what he did to you.
Yes, so you have more cause to be upset than I have to be at him.
Look, you're just really lucky that the victim in this situation was me and not somebody normal.
Normal, this is this is abnormal. Normal would have been, well, depends on which side of the normal, I guess.
Well, normal would have either beat you up or wanted you thrown in the clink. And I want neither.
She's gonna give you a look. Well, I guess if we stick to the real kind side of things, that is more likely.
He sort of frowns like, what's the other option?
Do you have any idea how many kidnappings have ended in wedding invitations?
Dear, you're a bit young for me.
Not no, 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 no. Just no, not you and me, not you and me.
Then who?
No, it's okay. Not this situation aside. Okay, let's take this specific kidnapping because that's obviously no, I'm not the one who's proposed to. I get invited to the weddings after the fact.
Alright.
look, a hero's beloved is kidnapped by the villain's evil henchmen and all that whatnot, and he comes to save her. And it's like, oh dear, I'm so happy you came to save me. Let's get married right now. Everybody's invited. What, even the bad guys? Yes, they too deserve to join in our happiness. And then suddenly there's a bloody wedding.
That actually sounds pretty fun.
It is. I mean, I turned down like the first few because I didn't believe it. Kind of sounded like shit. But then I thought, hey, why not try it? And then yeah, there's
Free.
free cake, there's tansy, there's food.
Absolutely, free food. You got to
Yeah,
turn down free
exactly. Depending
food.
on the rating, there's alcohol. So you see the bar here? It's just like there's wedding proposals. Or everybody just going home in time for dinner. There's just like, yeah, there's variables in and all that. And then you somehow end up managing to be the outlier. The weird one. Between wedding proposals and everything else. You can see why I'm a little confused here, right?
I suppose. I agree with you that this is probably weird.
Yeah. Okay, cool. Okay, as long as we're on the same. Okay, cool.
No, I'm aware of that. My opinions on um justice and punishments are a bit novel, especially in the context of this place.
Yeah. Yeah, because jail time is still, that's not exactly off the table. It's the reason I went to Minami, as it were, as opposed to, cops. I wanted you rescued, not dead. Where are you from, anyway? You said you weren't from Iquel around here. Somewhere close by or further out?
Eh, decently far.
One hell of a boat trip, then. Boat, I'm assuming.
Oh. Took a ship,
I'm
yes.
guessing Ivan, you said, is going back to wherever afterwards, and if I do some more traveling around, I want to make sure I don't end up wherever the
You
heck
won't.
he's going. Okay.
It's remote.
Ah. Good to know. I'd like to not accidentally run into him again.
No risk of that.
Oh, good. So certain Cerule is hoping the same, considering he didn't leave a better impression.
No, he doesn't. On that note, I have talked with the ambassador, with Ivan, and convinced him not to bother any of you. He doesn't know who snitched. He can make a guess, but he wasn't going to do anything to Cerule, and not to you, and certainly not to the Warforged. The Warforged was very cooperative. The vampire he was going to follow up on, let's say. I convinced him not to.
Hang on, I might have to. I don't know. What's the? I'm trying to. What's the roll in here? Is it not /R?
Oh, no, it's exclamation point R space roll.
Oh, okay. Oh, damn, alright.
What's that?
That was a deception, and you say that, and she just uh, gives a gives a casual nod of her head, just like, all right.
Hmm.
I mean, if you could beat a 25, you can roll Percepi or investigation.
Uh, I'll, wouldn't that be an insight?
Right, insight.
Yeah.
That, yep.
I'll roll, but I don't think. Nope. Nope. That's not gonna beat it.
That's fair.
That's only an 11.
Aww. Unfortunately, deception is one of the things she's good at.
Yeah, that's alright.
So yeah, that she just kind of like gives a casual nod, like, yeah, good to know. Oh,
Yes. He'll be going home and staying there.
oh, good. Considering that seems. Yep, yep. I'll be sure to let Cerule know. Sure, he'll be relieved about that, and I don't have to worry about keeping him safe from.
Him, no.
Yes.
For the next few weeks, he'll be, uh, probably swanning around Villestown for a bit, but no
Ugh.
further, and, again, the only one he really had an agenda for is the vampire. Even if he did see Cerule, the most he would do is strike up a conversation.
I'd almost want to see that. Almost.
Mm.
Cerule is quite good with words, you see, and while Ivan likewise seemed so,
Mm.
it could end up being an interesting back and forth, but I wouldn't put that on him.
No, that would probably be fairly stressful.
Exactly. And as stated, as his bodyguard, I am to keep him from such situations, not
Put him in them.
cause them.
Mm.
Yes, exactly. Unless they're funny. I am still a toon.
Mm-hmm. Hmm. Well, this has gone well.
Yes, unexpectedly so.
Hmm.
Look, it's not that I didn't distrust Minami, it's just.
No, no. This was, not one of the likely, outcomes.
Exactly.
I. Hmm.
Hmm?
I don't really, uh, hold any ill will towards you, but, I can tell you that, the people I'm friends with probably, probably best not to, um, be seen with me, uh, unless, I don't know, in public and, very clearly something that we both agree to do. And look, I'm not saying I never want to see you again, but there are some people who are going to be very upset when they see you.
Now, the latter there makes more sense than the former.
Perhaps.
But, I mean, this is merely one of my disguises, so
Hmm.
there's a good chance that, well, whether or not you recognize me out of disguise is another matter entirely, but
Mm-hmm.
I likely shall not be using this one for a little bit. Give it a chance to be forgotten, as it were.
Mm-hmm. All right. Well, do you have any questions for me, I suppose? He just shrugs. I mean, I can ask you one. I am curious. Were you just, do you just need gold? Any particular goal? Why that much?
You know what? I like. You know what? No, it's my turn for questions. It's my turn for questions. You're real kind, but what in particular? Your blood did not look the usual color I've seen for them.
Oh. Um. That's, human, but, condition.
Ah, damn. I thought that might have been it, but I was also hoping, you asked me a question, I dodge it. I asked you a question, you dodge it. This is not how this. I just.
If she wants to roll insight, she can, because that was a straight up lie.
Okay, yeah. Insight. Where's your?
I will likewise roll a contesting deception for him in that case.
Okay.
Oh, Professor.
Oh.
Hang on. You can use advantage for this because you have a item that. Oh, okay. Nope.
I mean, she only got a 7, so.
Well, thank goodness his deception modifier is so high. Because even with advantage, his better roll was a 3, so a total of 11. A total of 11 still beats you, though.
Yeah.
And I had to use a freaking item to
Out of curiosity, what was the first roll?
the first one was a 3. I was hoping to get better, and then I got a nat 1.
Oh shit.
Yeah.
Oh wow. Yeah, I guess Spica's too busy rolling her eyes over trying to dodge the questions in general. It was just like.
Yeah.
Look at. Everybody needs money. It's just and those. It's 10 platinum now. Come on. Not to mention a gold piece just for showing up.
Hmm.
Figured I could even if things started to go bad, I could just bail.
Mm-hmm.
At least take the singular gold.
He is good at making a deal seem like a good one.
He did. He ticked all the boxes for a lighter mission. Didn't want you dead. Didn't want this, that, and the other. Easily got others to leave, whereas obviously we remained, but certainly sounded like a job that would be done by dinner time and we'd all get to go home.
Hmm.
Damn it.
Well, you did do it by dinner time.
10-8 until like what, 1 a.m., midnight? No, then I guess technically, yeah, it was done by dinner considering how late dinner was.
Hmm. All right. If you don't want to tell me, that's fine.
But you don't believe me? Don't believe I could just want some gold?
No, I believe you. I'm just not sure.
Oh. Well, I guess that just means you're smart enough to know not to trust a villain.
Hmm. He doesn't look surprised by that self like declaration.
Mm-hmm.
Doesn't even blink.
Mm-hmm. She just smiles behind her mask.
Mm-hmm. I think
Well.
You did have, I can see why, Minami is, friends with you. Although you did, you did cause her quite a bit of stress.
Wait, why do you... No, wait a minute. Go back. What do you mean you can see why I'd be Minami's friend? How do you know I'm not just some contact?
Um, because she told me.
Yeah.
She, I was, I was recovering. That's what I've been doing this whole time, by the way, or else I would have done this sooner. I was,
Well, I imagine so. You poisoned yourself. You've got
that's,
drained. You got your ass kicked.
the poisoning was the least of it. Anyway, uh, she, she came to me and basically pled your case, and I had to try to explain to her that it's okay, I actually don't want to put you in prison forever. So she doesn't have to argue so hard.
Spica probably just stares a moment and then just like sighs heavily and just like slumps forward and rests her arms on her knees, just like, ugh. Alright, fine, we're friends. Ugh. Trust me, I know I caused her more than a bit of stress.
Mm,
But I also knew if I didn't go to her, it would have been much worse.
yes.
I also wasn't expecting you to be her friend.
Mm. She's sweet.
Of course she is.
We had a few mutual friends. We've known each other casually for a while. I'd consider us friends, though maybe not the closest.
Why do you say that?
Because there are other people I know better and see more often.
That's fair enough. Well, you seem saying just because you don't see someone often that you're not friends.
That's true. No, she seems worried that I would think it inappropriate for her to have a villain as a friend. I did not.
Yeah, I always said she could say that she doesn't know me, but she was always been very insistent against that.
Mm-hmm. Well, I told her it was all right. I have my own disreputable friends.
Now that, for some reason, doesn't surprise me. All things considered. I mean, there's not even any documentation on you, so...
Hmm.
Suppose you didn't have one of those disreputable friends dealing with this.
Dealing with it?
Yes, well, I mean, I guess it's not really a, Well, considering the way you're choosing to deal with it, I guess they wouldn't be picked for this.
Yeah, no, I'm not about to call somebody up and ask them to take somebody out for me. Not really my style.
Not the kind to set people up on dates.
Not that kind.
You don't have to roll insight, she's absolutely joking.
Uh-huh. Dates to die for? No.
No? Like, sometimes you just gotta surprise someone.
Mhm.
Dinner or a sniper rifle, take your pick. Or crossbow, I guess, considering. Me realizing the joke doesn't quite fit because I don't think sniper rifles have been invented yet.
Yeah, it's fine. Well, do you have any other questions?
Hmm. Well, perhaps a few, but
Can't promise I'll answer them all, but go ahead.
why did he want to kidnap you anyway? What was all this for?
Well, it really is like he said. He wanted to talk with me. He wanted my account of something that happened a long time ago because he was missing some information. Information about people who had wronged him, and I happened to know who they were.
Ah. Usually when somebody says they just want to talk to somebody, it's
Oh, I know what it
usually
usually means.
Yes. Okay, good.
Believe me, I've had plenty of that too.
And yet you still seem to have all your fingers.
Hmm.
Do you still have all your fingers?
I do.
Hang on. Looking at your hands now.
He puts his hands up. Yes, I have all of my fingers.
Okay, good.
Oh, magic does wonders.
I mean, that is what healing magic is for. Helps you get back up again, pull things back together and all that, along with other things.
Mm-hmm.
What about you, I guess? Any other questions? I mean, can't exactly promise I'd answer them either, but I at least guess I owe you a few answers of some variety anyway.
Well, I can't tell if this would be insulting to ask or not, but that's never stopped me before. Why a villain?
Well, you do understand that my immediate answer is why not? I mean, it's what I'm good at.
I suppose that's fair.
It's what I'm good at. It's what I do. It, for some reason, seems to confuse some people due to having standards, but I don't see. Some people think I'm not one simply because I have standards, or I'm less of a villain because I have standards, but I just don't think there's really much to be said if you're a villain who goes around stealing candies from babies and kicking puppies. Like, that just makes you an asshole. You're not proving anything, you're not doing anything, you're just being a jerk. Robbery, theft, kidnapping, violence. You know, more fun things that are more of a challenge. That just rather suits me, is all. Not to mention, it's always a job that's there. No matter what's going on, somebody always wants something done, and they're willing to pay for it to be done.
Very pragmatic.
Thank you. So what is it you do exactly? You certainly seem to have money to burn, much as Ivan does.
Ah. Well, what do I do? Travel? I do a bit of everything, really.
Hmm. You get paid to travel?
No. No.
Hmm.
How to put it? Inherited wealth?
You're what, late in life?
What?
Well, you're a bit too nice to come from old money.
Alas, I did.
Okay, how are you
After
the
all,
supposed?
no, think about it this way.
Okay, okay.
If that was my older brother,
Mm-hmm. Oh, wait, hang on.
yes, now you see.
Yes, never mind. This is actually starting to make a lot of sense. And Min wonders why I don't trust rich people.
Mm,
That's just usually a certain sort, and I know they have all sorts, you being an example, and I having actually met a few others, but
mm-hmm. No, I don't, blame you. I had to go through a lot of, say, character development to get to this point.
oh, you certainly wear it better than he does.
Hmm. Well, good. I like to think that I've changed.
Well, I don't know that you before, obviously, but
Mm-hmm.
those I do know who have come from money is you. Ivan's side of things, I guess. You don't see people as things to be bought. You
Mm-mm.
see people as people. You even talk to a library cat, converse with them, as opposed to.
Of course.
It's quite fond of you, by the way.
Well, I'm quite fond of him. Very imperious.
Hmm. Bit of a tattletale, though, you must know.
Maybe. I don't mind. Cats usually tell it as they see it, I suppose.
Mm-hmm. Oh, trust me, they do. But they will also downright lie if you give them fish. But yes, you treat people as people, not objects or things beneath you. So,
So I get a pass? Is that it?
for now, I suppose.
Mm, I'll take it.
Look, I saw how much you tipped that waitress. Trust me, you get a pass for now. Any other questions then?
Hmm. Um. Hmm. Uh.
Oops.
Mm-mm.
Sorry, I just bumped something.
That's fine. Actually, um,
Hmm.
let me see. Reminds me out of character. Uh,
Yes.
did um was this is a little this is like out of the blue, but was Spica present for the interview, the late night speech bubble interview with Mr. M?
Yes.
Okay. Uh,
Mhm.
then I'm not going to have Professor bring him this item because I'm gonna have it given to somebody else because she already has one.
The which one?
You as a result of being in that interview, you get a two things: a snow globe of Mike Standy and
Oh, that's right.
cat collar that makes your cat invisible.
That's right. Yeah, she does have that.
Yeah.
That's
Professor
fair.
doesn't have a cat though, so I've been trying
Yeah.
to figure out. But that's okay. He knows other people. I have some ideas, but I wanted to ask.
No, that's fair.
um, in that case, I don't. What else would he ask about? Um, what would you ask about, Professor? I don't know.
That's fair. She can ask one first if that helps.
Yeah, if you want. I don't know
Yeah.
if he has more.
No, that's fair. I mean, also if he doesn't think of more, that's also fair.
I think
But yeah.
he thinks for a minute and then just shrugs.
Mm. So what happened to your jacket? I know we left it behind.
Oh, I, uh, well, mm, I got the stuff back out of it, but I had to, uh, part of convincing, Ivan not to go after the vampire, involved a bribe, and that was the coat.
You bribed him with your coat.
Well, technically, I bribed him with guilt. Uh,
You bribed him with guilt?
yes. Because after what he did, he owes me, and he knows it. He got thoroughly trounced by my friends.
Oh, wait.
Hmm.
Any of that Minami knows?
Oh, um. Well, one of them's her father, yes.
The wet paper bag!
What?
Oh, I almost wish I could have been there to see that. Oh, oh, that's hilarious.
Apparently, he, uh, disguised himself as a vampire in order to, aggro Ivan.
All right, I'm gonna have to give it to Min. Cool sometimes.
um, who else? The little, uh, the, little detective, Moria. Surely you know who Moria is. Um,
I know that name through Min, but you said little detective, brown shoes, brown hat, doesn't even come up to your knee.
yes.
Camille.
Not involved exactly so much as, along for the. He helped with the detective part.
Okay, that makes more sense. That boy looked like he was 8
Yes, no.
last I saw it.
He did not beat up Ivan. Um,
Okay, that that would have been funny though.
uh, and, another friend of mine, um, I don't, I don't know how well Minami knows him, but, yeah.
Fair enough.
Yeah, Detective Moria, she's kind of the most famous detective in Valestown.
Well, Likely the only reason I don't know her is because I haven't exactly spent much time in Villestown.
Ah.
I usually travel as well, I guess you could say, and not just around the one location.
Mm-hmm.
More all over Inkwell.
Mm-hmm.
Sort of beyond its borders, but as tunes aren't as common out there in the rest of Zatori,
Mm.
I tend to stick around the continent at least.
Mm-hmm. A bit hard to disappear when uh, you when there aren't any other people who look like you.
Yeah, being blue is one thing. She
Yeah.
motioned her face. Being a tune is another matter entirely. I'm. Hang on, let me double check before I say anything. Double check her race. Uh, I am one of the more realistic ones, 3D and all that, but
Mm.
all the same, a tune is a tune, and I still look. You just can't really hold me next to a real kind, and
Mm-mm-mm.
yeah.
No, apparently there are uh, some who hold up to inspection, but he just sort of
True.
shrugs.
She nods at that. I mean, as I said, 3D, a lack of line art helps, but there's it's like having too much. I mean, at the moment I am wearing makeup and body paint, so that's my argument of it still looks like my eye shape, the proportions are decent though, but
Hmm.
again, blue skin color and such, the overall look of texture, as it were.
Hmm.
Though smooth skin, much like a shark. Can't exactly feel the texture.
Mm-hmm.
But either way, yes, can't really blend in under those circumstances. And you'd think, oh, well, why not just wear a hooded cloak or something? It's like, I want to know why people think outside of, shows or tunes that works. It's like, oh, there's a random hooded figure that doesn't blend in.
Mm-mm.
It's very obvious. There's the one hooded figure amidst everybody else. It's like, oh, I can't imagine who the bad guy is.
Mm. Crowd shots, maybe. Maybe.
Yeah, crowd shots. Crowd shots.
Other than that, though. Mm-mm.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. But for that, I'd have to just disappear into shadows entirely.
Mm. Mm.
No more questions on your end then?
Can't think of anything.
Sure, you're not getting married or anything.
I'm not getting married. Who? No, I'm not getting married to anyone.
Fine, fine. As long as you don't think I'm asking about me because you are too old.
Good. No, I'm not.
Okay, just so long as that pot's clear.
Mm-hmm.
You're like what? Twice my age, maybe?
At least.
Okay. 50s, maybe.
Old enough.
Alright, alright, alright. I won't pester you for your age. Human variant, you're probably 100 or something.
What did she say?
Well, you said you were
No,
the real
what?
kind,
What
a
did
human
she?
variant, the 100 or something.
Oh,
like elves or some shit. Elves and dwarves are usually long-lived, but you're far too tall to be a dwarf, I'm guessing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. No, not a dwarf. Oh, who knows?
Eh, don't have the facial hair for a dwarf either.
Well, no. I do shave.
Mm,
I could grow a
I
beard
don't.
if I wanted.
I don't know if it would suit you.
Well, that's why I shave.
Dwarves, look, there's probably some exceptions, but dwarves always seem to rock a beard.
Yeah, they do.
Well, this is definitely the weirdest, yet somehow positively so. End to a kidnapping several weeks after the fact that.
Maybe don't do any more kidnappings. You stick to
How
the.
else am I supposed to get wedding invites?
I don't know. Do other crimes. I don't know. Only. Uh. Yeah, no. I can't really condone kidnapping. I thought about it for a second, but.
Well, if nothing else, I appreciate you at least thinking about it for a second. Oh. Oh, it's a complicated thing, though, I guess, in a sense, isn't it?
Mm?
Well, I wasn't there. I mean, you say I wasn't the only one snitched, but you figured out I was the one who patched you up.
Mm.
So if I didn't take it, but then if I was there, and it's not like I can. Well, if it eases your mind or whatever, I'm not.
Mm.
She just like kind of gives a wave of her hand, like she's trying to say something, and she's just like.
Not planning on taking any more kidnapping jobs?
Yeah, let's you could put. I just won't correct you
Alright.
or argue for that matter.
Hmm. Well, and I suppose I'm obliged to warn you that if, let's say, uh, there's a second offense, especially in regards to me, um, this sort of leniency is probably not going to be repeated.
Why would I want to kidnap you again?
I don't know.
It seems like the opposite of a good idea. I'm not that smart, but I'm not that dumb.
Alright, I'm just obligated.
No. That's yeah. I'm not used to this. You're being nice about this.
Well, you've been one of the more considerate kidnappers I've ever had.
Yeah, it just sounds like you had shitty kidnappers.
Well, yes, of course I did.
Was that because you're rich? What do you mean? Of course you did.
No, kidnappers are usually shitty people.
Well, yes, they're not the best in the world. They're kidnapping you, but
And
I
most
guess
of the
different.
time, they don't really care if I die or not.
Well, excuse me for having standards, I guess.
Alright.
But I have absolutely no plans to knock on wood, of course, being a toon and all. But I have
Mm.
Currently, she like kind of glances around almost as if expecting something to happen suddenly out of nowhere. I have no plans currently to kidnap you for any reason in the foreseeable future or anything there variation thereof or
Good.
commit harm to your person. And she's just like looking like glancing around the whole time.
I'm sure Minami is very glad to hear that.
Oh yes. Well, she already knew I got to
Mm-hmm.
speak with her before all of this, but
Mm-hmm.
also just in case she quickly like knocks against the bench because it's wood.
Yeah, well, she will be reporting back to the others, so.
Mm, true.
Mm.
Which is her job, so.
Mm-hmm.
And she's the best, so that's to be expected.
Mm-hmm. How
I
many
had
your.
to fight her on that though. Hmm?
What?
Oh, I just had to fight her on that the other day.
Oh, on
When I
what?
last met up with her. Well, I said she was the best, and she said that there were other skilled ones, and then I asked her if any of them would argue with the fact that she was the best. And she could not answer me, thus, I think I proved my point.
Huh.
Anyway, you were saying.
Oh, I was going to ask how your cats were.
Of course, you would know about them. They're well enough, I guess. And she shrugs her arms out, and despite the fact it looks like there's nowhere for them to come from, there's suddenly like three or four like peeking around her, like one suddenly looking out from like behind her, like neck is like stepping out onto her shoulders, like coming around her sides, and
Mm-hmm.
one peeking out from behind her leg and looking up at you.
Mm-hmm.
Now, very curious eyes looking at you.
He takes out of his pocket a like uh, stick of cat treats, like you break off a bit, sort
Mm-hmm.
of like a
Oh,
chewy
they're
thing.
focus on you. They just bound over in an instant. And she's like, "Be careful with that,"
uh,
because yeah, they're just like treat, treat.
he's suddenly very popular.
Oh yeah, yeah. They were hesitant at first. They were looking at you like, who's this? The person with the treat. That's who this is.
uh, yeah. he just gives them attention and speaks to them very like uh straightforwardly. Like he doesn't do the like baby talk. He
Mm-hmm.
talks to them like he would greet like just some people.
Yeah. And here's the thing: is like, because Spica spends so much time talking to them, either
Mhm.
with or without speak with animals, they kind of chitter back, expecting him to understand almost.
Mhm.
It's like he's talking to them, and it's like he'll get like a
Mhm.
like yells back. It's just like yeah, it's like they're he can't hear the understand the other side of the conversation, but they're absolutely chatting with him.
Yeah, he probably says something to the effect of uh like I'm afraid I can't quite parse your dialect, dear, but
Hmm. Just like look at him, just like and then there's just like purring and just like treat, treat, sniff at hand, delicately open mouth, nip at fingers. No, that's not the treat. Hang on. Wait, you're not petting me. You started petting the other cat. How dare you?
uh, he's very happy with the cats and
Yay.
giving them attention.
When he looks up again, there's also about the same number of cats on Spica, so there's like 8 now.
Well, it looks like you take good care of them.
Oh, yeah. No reason not to.
Hmm.
They get fed, they get their attention they need.
Mm-hmm. And are you lot, and you dress as the cats, you lot taking good care of her too?
There's immediate like ear perking and meows and like nods of head, and she's just like, "Oi!" Little snitches, the lot of you, and there's just like immediate purring.
Oh, good.
She just like rolls her eyes. Look at you, y'all just rolling over just because somebody gives you treats, and now you're just best friends. I'm wearing a mask, stop it! Like one of them's just like headbutting her in the face, and it's just like she's still wearing a mask, so it's not in her mouth, but it's still just like ah.
Oh man. Well, I think I'm out of questions. We could wrap it up with them just sort of like, uh, just kind of like chatting over the cats and then parting amicably.
Yeah, yeah, that sounds good to me.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Woohoo.
Whew, that was oh, relief.
Yeah. Woo.
Yay, that went better than expected. Thank goodness.
Yay.
Yay! But yeah, that sounds good to me. Yeah, I can't
Mm-hmm.
think of anything else either.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Yeah. Well, that was good.
that
It
was
was confusing for Spica,
yeah.
but
Just the moment, especially it's just like. It's like, well, you could understand, right? Because you were worried, he's upset,
Mhm.
and she's like, no, this is a completely different situation. First, it's like,
Oh, you know what? I think he would point out like
oh
over
yes.
the cats bemusedly like uh working at a animal shelter could count as community service.
Okay, but does it still count if I just leave with all of them? Like,
You can't.
exactly. That
leave
seems counterproductive.
leave some for the other people.
Yeah. Well, I guess I'm a villain, not a catnapper, exactly.
Mm. But yeah. Okay. All right. Thank
Oh,
you
yes.
for playing this with me. It was lovely.
Hey, it was a
Glad,
lot of fun.
glad we could finally do it.
Hell
Um,
yeah, same. It's been a month, but that's okay.
yeah.
Well, in-game month, out-of-game, I don't know. Either way, it's still fine.
And
Oh,
thank you for listening.
yeah.
People listening to the video in the future. We wish you all a good time zone. Bye.
Take care. Thanks for listening. Bye.